Welcome to your Pisces horoscopes for the last week of March, the 24th through the 30th, and also officially the week we go into enter the shadow period of the first full Mercury retrograde of the year, which starts next week around the 2nd. And it's a full Aries Mercury retrograde, which is going to bring up some aggressive communication because fire signs can be a very aggressive energy. As annoying as this is, sometimes specific patterns within relationships, communication patterns that are not fixing a problem, but just allowing a problem to continue on forever, it has to get aggressive in order to make a change or to eliminate the problem or to fix the problem, what have you. And this is what Mercury retrogrades really are all about. It's about stop ignoring things that, are not going to change themselves and do something about them. Frustrating, yes, nobody wants to deal with it, of course, but it is what it is, and it is helpful to us when we get out of resisting it and embrace the change, if that makes sense. Still lots of stuff going on in Pisces as we are focused on long-term career goals. Mars, Saturn, Venus, Neptune all continue to be players in this focus and interacting very favorably for the most part with other planets, as we have Saturn and Venus in a sextile with Jupiter and Uranus, which are focused on your support system and how growing that support system really plays a big role in terms of your career success. We also have Neptune in a sextile with Pluto. Pluto is very much focused on financial growth and really understanding the power that you hold over your financial growth. With Neptune's intuitive energy focused on career, it brings these two things together. So you can clearly see how much all of the work, the hard work that you're putting into it is paying off in many ways. The moon, however, is going to create a few challenges as it moves around the zodiac throughout this week, kicking off the week in opposition with Neptune and focused on the home. And it sort of kicks off the week in this sort of feeling where it feels like you really can't put all of your effort into focusing on your career goals and your success because there are too many other things at home that need to be addressed. Bottom line, I think, is that as human beings, we tend to avoid dealing with problems and we just kind of sort of put them on the back burner and hope that eventually they'll go away. And 9 times out of 10, they don't. They just get bigger. And because we didn't deal with it before, it's now getting in the way of what we want to achieve now. But we also have to remember that because the moon is very much a part of this, that's also how we emotionally rationalize things at the same time. That has a huge effect on our success rate. So if we're looking at it emotionally, as in every time I try to do something, something always gets in the way, what we're actually doing is we're pointing the finger at everything else is getting in the way and not looking at what we're doing to get in our own way, if that makes sense. We also have a little bit of a challenge um, here with the moon moving into, as it's moving into Sagittarius. So towards the end of the week, as it moves into a square with Saturn, and in some cases with Mars as well, which are really focused, all of that energy, of course, being focused on your long-term goals. So Saturn is all about you taking your responsibility for this. The moon brings its emotional influence into your day-to-day schedule. So it's almost like giving yourself an excuse not to focus on your responsibility for your long-term goals. which is fine in the moment, feels good in the moment, you wind up paying for it later on. So I tend to look at it this way. Most days, I don't feel emotionally ready to tackle the world. I don't feel like getting up and doing anything. I have to get up and just do it, you know. And every day that I get older, I feel less and less motivation to do things. That's why instead of allowing that feeling to overcome me, most of the time I just get up and and do what I need to do. I don't need to be motivated to do it. If I wait for motivation, it's never going to happen, right? You just have to have good practices in place to continue to keep yourself focused on what needs to be focused on. Now, there are some days where I can't do that, and that's okay. You need a rest too. Life is about balance of work and play and rest. So you need to make sure that you have those other elements working with the right consistency and energy also. So on those days where you just simply can't, don't. It's okay. Take a rest, take a self-care day, do what you need to do for yourself to get yourself back on track. The rest of the time, it's motivate, motivate, motivate when you can't find the motivation, if that makes sense. So lots of good stuff going on for you guys this week. A few challenges there, yes, but that's life. There's always a few challenges that you have to get over. It just is what it is. And the more time you waste being angry about it or fighting against those challenges, the less time you have to do something about the challenges if you can do something about the challenges. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link, which is there in the description. Really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, I know just how brilliant you guys really are. And I know that you can succeed in anything that you put your mind to. Get out of your own head and just make it happen. I'll see you guys next week. Make it a great one.